So we are in the final 6.5 minutes here of the ELC AMX 901 auction, the golden ticket auction. And we are going to watch the last few minutes here and try and determine whether or not this auction format structure has been a failure. And I can tell you that we're going to get somewhere in between the two, I think, because if you remember back to the other auctions, you have a 2-hour auction and then a potential 2-hour extension window. This has been a 2-day auction, and there is now the potential for a 24-hour extension should anybody make a bid that upsets the top 2,500 prize winners. But I can tell you that is highly unlikely to happen because only 881 people have bid in this auction, meaning that there is no way on earth I can imagine the next 5.5 minutes is going to see an influx of a significant number of players that's going to require anything to be extended for another 10 minutes. Yeah, 1,690 more bids would be needed for there to be another 10-minute extension, and that would need to continue on through the next 24 hours. And that is partly because I would imagine the pricing structure of this particular tank, you are looking at 35 golden tickets, although that is missing from the right hand side of the screen for some reason. 35 golden tickets is the minimum starting bid, and there has been no price war here because only 886 players have bid for a tank. So does that mean that this has been a failure? Well, we're Wargaming expecting these 2,500 prizes to go and therefore an extension be needed and a bidding war to ensue? Or was it priced so high to start with that they knew that this was not going to happen? Only they will know this. But having said that, another bid has just come in, 887, so people are out there, they are making the bids. But what does 35 golden tickets look like? Well, if we go to the store, and hopefully we'll find the golden tickets in here, you can see that there are a variety of bundles to choose from, and I did make a video on this to highlight the best way or the optimal way of getting the cheapest combination of tickets, and that worked out at around about £32 in the United Kingdom. But of course there is an option here to buy 50 tickets for £34.99, which was the better value, if indeed there is any value in the golden tickets. But this would give you some extra tickets just in case a bidding war did ensue. But nevertheless, if you wanted the minimum of 35 tickets, you were looking at a price of about £32. So what does that mean for the auction as we enter the final 3 minutes? Well, it means that 890 people have now bid. So again, a couple of people have saved it to the last minute. And if 890 people have paid the £32 for the golden tickets, it means that this particular auction currently, as we sit here right now, well, that is bringing in approximately £28,500 into the Wargaming coffers. So that itself is not too bad, but that is some way short of the 2,500 ticket tanks that were available, which at £32 would have been £80,000 in revenue. So at the moment, with 2 minutes to go, it looks like fewer than 900 of these tanks are going to sell at 35 golden tickets, which means it hasn't necessarily hit the target that was set, if indeed that is a target. And it also means that fortunately, unlike some of the auctions that I've sat through that have been extended for 10 minutes, in fact, a bid has just come in that's upset the bidding, and that is quite strange because there are 2,500 prizes available and only 891 participants are taking part. So that is an interesting turn of events. don't quite know why that would do that, because that is not what they explained would happen in the auction. All 891 of these participants here will be getting one of these tanks, and the starting bid is 35 golden tickets, and it does say 35 is the minimum bid, so I don't understand why that has changed. Let's just keep an eye on this a little bit longer to see if it increases any more. We got to within about 2.5 minutes there at the end of the auction, which would have been fantastic. But now we are sat back waiting for another 8 minutes for it to finish, unless of course this happens again, as a few more bidders have dropped in and are making their claim for this particular tank. It's interesting to see whether or not this tank is actually worth it. These are the statistics of this tank. It does have the concealment in movement, which is effectively a light tank perk. It means that when it's driving around, the camo rating does not change, it remains in place, unless of course you fire the gun. Any other tank that you have in the game, once it moves, the camo rating reduces, because obviously the tank can be seen because of the motion. And it also has the adaptive concealment, which means once the tank is spotted, it's not spotted for 10 seconds, it's only spotted for 7. The red eye icon here appears above the enemy that has spotted you, so you can have an indication of who that might be. Obviously, it doesn't just mean that they have spotted you, everyone else can then see you, but it does give you an indication. And if you are hit by a tracer round that some tanks do fire, then you are visible for 17 seconds rather than 20. So a couple of little perks there. And then the remainder of the statistics, which in summary, 1250 hit points, average damage is 220. You can fire just under 10 rounds per minute, and penetration armor, speed, average speed, that 38. The actual top speed of this tank is higher than that, 65 forward and 24 in reverse. And we're down to 6 minutes, but again, I made another video having someone pointed this out to me. If we go back to the store, let's see if it's still here. No, it looks like it's gone. In fact, no, here it is. This is the tier 8 medium equivalent, if you like, the Bachatillon Barosque. And the stats for this tank do give it increased hit points, increased armor, and it does have reduced damage per minute, but the average damage for this tank is much higher. It's 320, but you can see you can only fire 5.6 rounds per minute, which is why the damage per minute numbers are lower. But it's also pretty nippy as well. It does 60 forward and 23 in reverse, so not too far away from the light tank. Doesn't have the perks, but this one's available in store for gold at a known fixed price of 7,500 gold. So perhaps some people have taken the opportunity to purchase that tank instead. The Tundra camo keeps coming up. That's the next thing that's going to be available. That starts in about 7 hours, but right now we've got 4 minutes to go here on this particular tank, and as you can see, we're now up to 901 people bidding for it, and we will see where it goes, but I can't imagine it is going to go any higher than the 35 golden tickets that is the start price, because there are not enough people to warrant bidding higher than that, because there are 2,500 tanks available. And there is about 4 minutes to go. Don't think we're going to get anywhere near 1,000 people, but nevertheless, we're down to 3.5 minutes. 905 people now. We'll do the maths in a minute on how much of an increase that has been. In fact, let's do that now. So if we're averaging about £32 for the golden tickets needed, then we are now at a value of 28,960, which means in the last 5 minutes or so, an extra £480 has been added to the Wargaming bank account, and we are under 3 minutes inside the last call. And as I said before, there are 2,500 tanks available, so all 905 of these players are going to get one of these tanks. So I don't understand why it reset about 8 minutes ago back to 10 when there was no change to the running order. Starting bid is 35 golden tickets. Nobody should be paying more than that because they are guaranteed to get one of the vehicles. It's just a case of waiting another 2 minutes, and it is 7 o'clock in the United Kingdom, so it's quite early. I guess what's that, 8 o'clock across Europe. People getting up just to check that they're going to secure one of these tanks. We've had an extra 20 people come in and bid inside the final 10 minutes. So they've obviously waited to see what's going to happen. And what's going to happen is that about 906 ELC AMX 901 tanks are going to enter the game. I don't know how long it takes for them to arrive in people's garages, but I would assume it'll be some time in the next couple of hours. So if you're going to log into Tier 8, you may well come across one of these golden ticket tanks. And if you do, let us know in the comments how well it played. Was the tank any good? Was the player any good? Because people are wanting to know. The stats are one thing, but how it actually performs are completely different. As we enter the final 50 seconds, we are going to sell around about 908 of the ELC AMX 901, the first golden ticket auction tank that I'm aware of, with a starting bid and a finishing bid of 35 golden tickets. Let's just hope this gets through, because it did reset not so long ago for no reason that I am aware of. Anybody else going to bid? We're on 908. 35 golden tickets. And 2,500 available. So less than half have sold. And there we go. The auction has ended. Only 909. Someone crept in right at the end. 909 ELC AMX 901s have sold from the 2,500 that were available. What does that tell us? Does it tell us the players weren't interested? It was overpriced. The risk of buying golden tickets and then not securing the tank and then being stuck with golden tickets? Or was it deliberately priced high in this manner to limit the number of these tanks that would enter the game? Who knows? But at 909 players, averaging £32 for the golden tickets, that is £29,000 worth of income that has just been generated from the sale in the golden ticket auction of the ELC AMX 901. So does that make this particular auction for the ELC a failure? Well, you cannot complain at £29,000 worth of revenue, but could it have been so much better? If it's fewer tickets as a starting bid, would that have generated a price war, a bidding war, or maybe selling it for gold may have created a bidding war as well? But needless to say, the first golden ticket auction is over. 909 happy participants, all receiving the AMX 901, having spent 35 golden tickets worth of money. I hope you are happy with the tank. If you did get one of these, let us know how you got on. And if you didn't, but you wanted to, what put you off? Let me know in the comments. I will go call it an end there. I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.